Last Tuesday, a 61-year-old walked into a hotel lobby in Chicago. He wasn't the tallest guy in the room, wasn't the richest looking, didn't have a six-pack or a full head of hair, but every single woman between 40 and 55 in that lobby clocked him within seconds. Not because he was loud, not because he was showing off, but because of 5 very specific things his body was doing without him even realizing it. And by the time I finish this video, you're going to see men completely differently, including yourself. Because what I'm about to break down goes against literally everything society told you about aging and attraction. Stay with me because this information, it's the kind of stuff most men go their entire lives never knowing, and it's costing them real connections every single day. Here's the truth that nobody's saying out loud. Women, especially women over 35, are not looking at what you think they're looking at. Most men over 60 have already mentally checked out of that attraction game. They've bought into this lie that once you hit a certain age, you become invisible, that younger guys own the room, that the best years are behind them. But that mindset, that's the actual problem. Because here's what science and psychology are screaming at us. Researcher and world-renowned relationship therapist Esther Perel has spent decades studying desire, and what she found flips the script completely. She found that female attraction actually deepens and becomes more specific with age. Women don't stop noticing men, they just start noticing different things, more powerful things, things that actually matter. And the men who understand what those things are, they have an almost unfair advantage over every other guy in the room. A landmark study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships confirmed this. As women mature, their attraction patterns shift away from surface-level stuff, the gym body, the jawline, the flashy car, and move toward what researchers call character indicators, physical signals that communicate something real and deep about who a man actually is. And here's the wild part. These character indicators live in body parts that most men never even think about, never groom, never pay attention to. And that right there is your opportunity. Because the guy who understands this, he stands out in any room without trying. Let's get into it. Number 1, and this one hits different because almost no man sees it coming, the hands. Women notice hands first, not the face first, not the height, the hands. And they're not doing it consciously half the time. It's automatic. Esther Perel has described hands as one of the most revealing canvases of a person's character. The way a man's hands look and move tells a woman everything. How he treats things, how careful he is, how present he is in the moment, and by extension, how he might treat her. Think about that for a second. Your hands are running a background check on you before you've even said hello. So what exactly are women scanning for? First, grooming. Not manicured like you're headed to a photo shoot, but maintained, trimmed nails, clean underneath, no cracked, dry skin from years of neglect. Simple stuff. But a massive survey from a leading grooming brand found that 68% of women said poorly maintained hands immediately killed their attraction in a first meeting. 68%. That's not a small number, that's nearly 7 out of 10 women walking away uninterested before you've said a word. Second, the movement. Are your hands calm and deliberate when you talk, or are they nervous, fidgety, hiding in your pockets? Anthropologist Dr. David Given, who has spent his career studying nonverbal communication, found that hand behavior is one of the most powerful attraction signals in human interaction. Calm, purposeful hand gestures communicate confidence at a level that words simply cannot fake. And third, this one's fascinating. Women notice signs of capability in hands, a little roughness, evidence that these hands have actually done things, built things, fixed things. There's a reason the phrase, good with his hands, carries romantic weight. It signals real-world competence, and women respond to that on a biological level. Fix your hand game. It's one of the easiest wins available to you. Now, before I keep going, if this is already shifting how you see things, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now, because this channel goes deep on male psychology, attraction, and what actually works for men at every stage of life. Subscribing takes 2 seconds and means you never miss content like this. Now, let's talk about something that genuinely surprises almost every man who hears it. Number 2, the forearms. I know what you're thinking. Forearms? Really? Yes, really. And the research backs this up hard. When women across multiple independent studies were asked to rank the most attractive body parts on a man, forearms consistently ranked higher than chest, higher than abs, and in some studies they competed directly with the face. Here's why this is such a big deal. Forearms are one of the only body parts that are regularly visible in everyday normal social situations. Chest hidden under a shirt, arms covered by sleeves most of the time. But the second a man rolls up his sleeves to grab something, fix something, or just because it's warm outside, those forearms are right there. And Esther Perel has this concept she calls micro exposures. these small, unintentional moments of physical revelation that trigger genuine interest. A rolled sleeve is exactly that. It's intimate without being intentional. It's revealing without being excessive. And biologically, forearms signal physical capability, grip strength, control, the ability to handle things in the real world. For men over 60, here's the kicker. Forearms can actually improve with age because years of use create real definition that no gym exercise can fully replicate. Stay hydrated, maintain basic grip activity, and for the love of everything, stop hiding them under long sleeves all the time. Number 3, the eyes and specifically what surrounds them. Now everyone knows eyes matter, but what women over 35 are actually reading goes way beyond color or shape. Esther Pell wrote about what she calls the gaze of presence. The way a man's eyes communicate whether he is truly in the moment or mentally somewhere else entirely. And here's something that will change how you feel about aging. Those lines around your eyes, the crow's feet. A study out of Western University in Canada found that people with smile lines were perceived as significantly more genuine, more warm, and more trustworthy than those without them. That's not a flaw, that's a feature. It's evidence of a life fully lived. But the eyes themselves need to be doing the work. Women are reading 3 things. Specifically, the quality of your attention. When you look at someone, do they feel seen or looked through? The expressiveness. Do your eyes actually change when you talk about things that matter to you? And the health signals. Clarity, alertness, appropriate moisture. These things get processed unconsciously as indicators of overall vitality. I spoke with a woman who met her current partner when she was 58 and he was 62. I asked her what she noticed first. She couldn't even remember his eye color, but she remembered exactly how his eyes made her feel when he looked at her. She said she felt interesting. She felt worth paying attention to. That feeling is created by presence, and presence shows up first in the eyes. You can train this. Put the phone down, quiet the internal noise. Be actually there when you're talking to someone. It shows immediately. Number 4, and I promised you this one would hit hard, the shoulders and posture. This is the body part men over 60 have, almost universally abandoned caring about. And it might be the single most powerful attraction signal on this entire list. Here's something uncomfortable. Posture is how women sort men into categories in under 2 seconds. Vital or declining, confident or checked out, worth engaging or best avoided. These decisions happen almost entirely based on how a man carries himself through space. A study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that expansive, upright postures increased perceived attractiveness more dramatically than clothing, grooming, or even facial symmetry. More than facial symmetry, let that sink in. Esther Pell talks about posture as a core element of what she calls erotic presence. The physical expression of energy and engagement with the world. Rolled forward shoulders signal defeat and withdrawal. Shoulders back, chin level, measured movement. That signals that a man is still fully engaged with life. A woman I interviewed described attending a class reunion. 2 men, same age, similar builds. One walked in with rounded shoulders and a shuffled step. The other walked in with his shoulders back, moving with purpose. She said the difference was so stark it was almost unreal. One looked 20 years older than the other despite being born the same year. The good news, posture is one of the few things that is entirely within your control starting right this second. Awareness of shoulder position, conscious adjustment throughout the day, basic upper back strengthening. The return on that investment is massive and immediate. And before the final point, seriously, if this video is hitting home for you, subscribe right now. Share this with a man in your life who needs to hear it because this information is genuinely rare, and the guys who get it early are the ones who never become invisible. Number 5, the mouth and how it moves. Not just the smile, the entire system, lips, teeth, and most. Importantly, the way the mouth works during speech and expression. Esther Pell has described the mouth as central to both communication and attraction, noting that women are often unconsciously evaluating a man's mouth during conversation, reading not just the words, but the way those words are being formed. The mouth becomes a preview of intimacy before anything physical has even happened. Here's what women are actually observing. First, dental health, not perfect teeth. In fact, overly perfect teeth can read as artificial and off-putting. It's about basic maintenance, clean, fresh, not neglected. The American Dental Association found that 73% of women rated teeth as the first feature they noticed, and that percentage actually increased for older men. Second, the quality of the smile. Does it reach the eyes? Does it appear naturally, or does it look like it's being performed? Women can detect the difference between a real smile and a fake one with remarkable accuracy. And fake smiles actively reduce attraction. And third, how the mouth moves when speaking. Is there clarity and confidence in how words are formed, or mumbling and rushing? A speech pathologist I consulted explained that women partially process male speech visually. They're watching the mouth move while also hearing the voice. This is why in-person conversation creates more connection than a phone call. For men over 60, lines around the mouth from years of expression read, "is distinguished, not diminished." The mouth tells a story of character. Make sure yours is being told clearly, genuinely, and with purpose. So, here's where we land. 5 body parts. Hands that communicate care and capability. Forearms that reveal physical competence in everyday moments. Eyes that signal presence and genuine attention. Shoulders and posture that declare continued vitality. And a mouth that previews both health and the kind of intimacy a man is capable of. None of. This requires a gym membership or an expensive procedure. It requires awareness. It requires the decision to stay engaged with your own life and how you're showing up in the world. Because here's the final truth that Esther Perel keeps coming back to in all her research. Desire is fundamentally a response to aliveness, to presence, to the energy a person brings into a space. These 5 body parts are simply the places where that aliveness becomes visible. The men who understand this don't just become more attractive, they become unforgettable. And in a world where most men over 60 have already mentally tapped out, understanding this makes you rare. Now, if this video shifted something for you, the next video you need to watch is already on.